Unit 12, Listening Part 2.
In today's edition of Worldview, Professor of Environmental Science Toby Moore outlines some of the problems facing the Inuit communities of the Arctic. Professor Moore.
Thank you very much. I suppose it would be true to say that in today's world, most of us, most educated adults at any rate, are aware of global warming and climate change. But how many of us living in modern cities with a seemingly inexhaustible supply of electricity into our homes and places of work, cities that are full of shops, that are simply brimful with consumer goods, how many of us are actually affected by these phenomena in our daily lives? The Inuit, however, are being affected in a very real way, on a daily basis, by a frightening array of physical changes they see and feel around them. They see icebergs melting, tides changing, and notice the thinning of the polar bear population. They see how the daily weather markers on which they have relied for thousands of years are becoming less predictable as their fragile climate changes. In the past, if there was a ring around the moon, it meant a change of weather in the next few days. It was one of nature's messages to the Inuit hunters. Now, such signs mean nothing. But these are just the most immediately visible signs of the changes taking place. Talk to the Inuit elders and hunters who depend on the land, and you will hear disturbing accounts of deformed fish, diseased caribou, and baby seals left by their mothers to starve. In the last year or so, robins have appeared where robins have never been seen before. Interestingly, there is no word for robin in the Inuit language. These feelings are not simply based on Inuit superstition. There is increasingly strong scientific evidence that the Arctic, this desert of snow, ice, and killing cold wind, is thawing. Glaciers are receding, coastlines are eroding, lakes are disappearing. Autumn freezes are coming later, and the winters are not as cold. For years, what the Inuit elders and hunters understood about the Arctic climate, known as traditional knowledge, was largely disregarded by the Western world. It was often dismissed as anecdotal and unreliable by scientists who visited the area with their recording devices and their theories. Some even viewed the Inuit as ignorant about a land which they have inhabited for thousands of years. But more recently, scientists have begun paying attention to what the Inuit are reporting. According to geophysicist George Hobson, traditional Inuit knowledge was just waiting to be passed down. He says this deep knowledge and understanding of the land and its wildlife have enabled the Inuit people to survive in the harsh Arctic environment. For thousands of years, the Inuit have lived by rules that require them to respect animals and the land. They have adapted to the cold climate as they hunted seals, walruses, and whales. Siloa Atagujuk, an elderly Inuit woman who lives in the city of Iqaluit, does not want to pretend she knows more than anyone else, nor does she try to blame anyone for the change in her environment. She is simply worried. Her world is not as it used to be, and her people may not be able to adapt to it. She says that the Inuit have known all along that there would be a time when the earth would be destroyed or would destroy itself. She believes that this process has begun. I believe that it is now up to our governments to show Siloa and her people that we can slow or even reverse this process.